What's up, 4th and 5th graders? On Stuff with Nick today, we've got a very special guest. Her name is Martina. Maybe you've seen her before, but she's going to be joining us on Stuff with Nick, and we are so excited. I hope that you're as excited as I am. Because... Oh, hang on, I have to take this. Mom, yeah. No, Mom, I'm filming Stuff with Nick. Mom, can it wait? Mom.
Okay, sorry I'm late, Nick, but I'm here now. Sorry. Where'd it go? Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait for him here or something. Alright everyone, so it doesn't seem like Nick is coming back anytime soon, so we're doing Stuff with Martina today. Okay, so I am the biggest fan of Stuff with Nick. I think I've watched probably every single episode. And if there's one thing that Nick always shows in his videos is his dog Shadow. And I love Shadow, but Shadow is not with me here, obviously. But I do have a puppy of my own, so Marvel, come here. Sit. Okay, no, the other way. No, say hi to the 4th and 5th graders. You have to turn around. Okay, guys, this is Marvel. Marvel, say hi. Alright, let me tell you guys a story. One time, when I was in 4th grade, me and my friend really liked this guy in our class, so we decided to write him a love letter. I know, it's a little embarrassing. So we didn't write our names at the end, and we put it in his desk. And the next day, everybody at school was talking about it. We couldn't just come out and say it was us because that would have been really embarrassing, but we did want to keep it going. So we picked the guy that we really didn't like, and we wrote him a mean letter. Now, while me and my friend were writing this letter, we knew that this wasn't a very good thing to do. But I wanted to feel liked and I wanted to feel popular, so I wrote it anyway. I went against my own morals to write something that wasn't really nice. I hid this from not only the people at my school, but my teacher and my parents. That's an example of how I didn't really have integrity all that much. But today, we're going to be talking about someone who had a lot of integrity. Okay, but before we get into today's story, right now I'm in Nick's office, and I want to take you to my favorite place in the church, the theater. Let's go. Okay, so today's story comes from Daniel chapter 1. So this story takes place in Jerusalem, where a king called King Nebuchadnezzar had just risen as king. King Nebuchadnezzar went up to his chief in staff, Ashpenaz, and he said, "Hey, can you go over there to Babylon where there's all these captives and pick out some young, healthy, good-looking men and bring them over here?" Now you're probably wondering, what does King Nebuchadnezzar want with these guys? So after bringing a bunch of guys, within them Daniel and his friends, King Nebuchadnezzar says this. "Okay guys, this is my plan. I want to do a 3-year training period in which I want to train all of you guys to maybe one day become my royal advisors." Now, being a royal advisor is a really big deal. Basically, what it means is that whenever the king is faced with a decision that they don't know what to do, he would go to his royal advisors, who are supposed to be really wise and knowledgeable, to help with the decision. So the king said, "I'm going to do a 3-year training period, and I'm going to give you my food and my wine." Now, that sounds like a pretty good deal, going from being captive to living in the royal palace and training with the king and eating his food. That sounds pretty good to me, but Daniel knew that that food was against God's laws. And he didn't want to go against God's laws. He had so much integrity that he didn't want to disobey what God had given to him. In fact, verse 8 of chapter 1 says, "But Daniel was determined not to defile himself by eating the food and wine given to them by the king." So, what does Daniel do? He goes to Ashpenaz, the chief of staff, and he says, "Listen, I need you to not give me this food. I need to eat something else because this is against God's law." When Ashpenaz said no, Daniel went to the attendant that had been appointed to take care of Daniel and his friends. And he said to the attendant, "Listen, why don't you do like a little test on us, and for 10 days just feed us vegetables and water, and don't feed us the food from the king, but only for 10 days to see how we do." So the attendant says, "All right, if it's only for 10 days, I can test you guys." But at the end of those 10 days, Daniel and his friends were not only healthy, but they were healthier than everybody else that was there. So then the attendant said, "All right, if you guys aren't getting sick and you're not pale or weak, then I can keep giving you these foods." So thanks to Daniel's integrity, Daniel and his friends were able to abide by God's law by not eating the food and wine from the king. After the 3-year period of training was done, the king selected Daniel and his 3 friends to be his royal advisors. So God rewarded Daniel and his friends for abiding by his law and having integrity. So Daniel and his friends went from being captives in Babylon after their city had just been conquered, all the way to being royal advisors in Jerusalem to King Nebuchadnezzar. And that's it for chapter 1. Let's go back to the office. So, to wrap this up, Daniel had a lot of integrity with God. Daniel was truthful with his whole life, even the foods that he ate. And like Nick always says, here at the 45, love is the name of the game. And one of the best ways to show God that you love him is by having integrity and being truthful with your whole life. You can also show integrity to your parents, teachers, and small group leaders by being truthful in everything you say and do. Alright everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was so fun doing this video with you guys, and I really hope we can get to do...
Okay, I love you too, Mom. Bye. Okay, I'm so sorry, Martina. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah,